Welcome to my home as we decorate for spring using dollar store items as well as thrifted items. I can't wait to share with you what I found, and it's a bit of a thrift haul along with this decorate with me today. I picked up some of these fake flowers at Dollar Tree as well as Dollarama. I'm not sure if you have Dollarama in the States or wherever you live, but in Canada, that's what we have here. And I found some great finds, and I'm going to explain the whole thing and what to look for. But first, I want to share with you this sweater that I found, and I just couldn't resist buying it. I found it at the thrift store, and it just sang spring to me. It was so cheerful, and I just loved these little flowers and the detail. It's a little bit on the granny side, but I loved it. And I also found this vintage basket. And this green color is a color that I've been putting into my home, and I love this color. So as soon as I saw this, I picked it up right away. I knew that it was old, and I just love that. I also found this really nice sort of trinket box, and it's so vintage, and this little spring scene on it with these lambs. I just loved it. I paid $4 for it, and I paid $3 for the basket. I also have this little milk glass chicken, and this is also vintage. I bought this more in the winter, and I paid $10 for it, but I knew it would go perfect in spring. And then I also have this milk glass vase that I bought several years ago now, and I thrifted that as well. And here are some of the flowers, and I had an idea to use it with these terracotta pots that I've been saving up and thrifting for a while now. And then I also found an oven mitt in that same green color. So we're starting out with this floral foam that I bought at Dollar Tree, and it was only $1.75 for this pack. And I ended up cutting them to fit inside of these pots so that I could then stick the flowers inside. Now you want these to fit kind of snugly in there so that they don't move around. They were really easy to cut with my serrated knife, and they're perfect. I also think it would be really nice to put moss around there so that you don't see the foam, but I made it work and I didn't want to spend the extra money, and I just put the flowers in until you couldn't see the foam anymore. So one of my tips with buying flowers at the dollar store, there are actually some pretty nice flowers there, but I've found that you really want to be careful when it comes to the colors. I really like the white, but even some of the white looked really fake. So just take your time and observe the flowers, and some of them look pretty realistic. I was quite surprised, and that's coming from someone that actually grows cut flowers, because I have my own cut flower garden. And so I was pretty surprised at how lovely some of these flowers were. I tried to stick with whites, and I wanted a little pop of yellow because yellow just seems so cheerful to me, and I was also inspired by that sweater. So coming up with sort of a color combination is a good idea. I think it would also be nice to have little pops of purple in there, just a little bit. But all in all, this worked out really well. So what I did was I cut the stems right off of the main branch, and then I just cut them down to the size that I needed. And this worked out really well for me, and I just kept layering the flowers and adding big flowers, little flowers, and just making it look as natural as possible. And they stuck really easily into the foam, and they also cut really easily. It's actually the main stem at the bottom that has a lot of wire in it and it's hard to cut, but the actual branches, skinny branches for the flowers, were actually quite easy. And then I ended up going in with some greenery and tucking that around the edges and just kind of playing around until I felt that it looked natural and to my liking. And I also wanted to fill it out really nicely. This was super economical because I already had the terracotta pots. And Dollar Tree, all of the flowers there are $1.75 a bunch, at least here in Canada. And Dollarama was a little bit more expensive at $2 to $3 per bunch, but I found that Dollarama's flowers looked a little more natural. This project actually popped into my mind while I was doing the dishes the other day, and I envisioned the terracotta pots displayed in this cabinet with pansies, and that was my original inspiration. But I didn't want to go to the garden center, and in fact, we have been going through a financial difficulty lately. I mentioned this in my past video, but nonetheless, it's even more of a reason to beautify your home and make it more cheerful and just a happier place to be, because it really does affect and impact your entire family when you take the time to bring beauty into your home. And so that's what I'm doing here today, and I'm hoping to inspire you to do the same. And so I just played around with the placement and just had a little bit of fun here and moved things around until things felt right. I'm definitely a collector of vintage items, and this tomato picture really caught my eye because in my vintage cookbooks, they talked about having tomato juice every day for their vitamin C. And so as soon as I saw that picture, I knew what it was and why there would be tomatoes on it. And I found that last year, but I really wanted to display it. And then I also have these crystal glasses that I found at the thrift store. And I just find so many treasures over there, and I want to be able to display them. I also had this really cute little sort of wicker purse that I decided to put some little faux flowers in, and I thought that just looked really sweet, and I just love the way that that turned out, and it was so easy. And this is the oven mitt that I bought, and I could only find one in this color, so I'll have to go back to find another one. And I'm replacing my other oven mitts, which are getting kind of old and grungy. And you can see this sort of green color that I was talking about. I found these utensils and these bowls at Winners, and so I've got those displayed just for the pop of color. And now I'm setting the table with this beautiful lace tablecloth that I also thrifted, and I just want things to look very pretty for spring. This cat is so mischievous and she's always getting in my way. So I had to remove her from the situation because she wanted to destroy this. But here are the flowers, and these ones are from Dollarama. And I just put those directly in the vase, and I really like the way they look. Now here is a thrift store find that I got for a steal. $4.50 to be exact. And the reason why I got it for so cheap is because there's a small tear in the lining, which I can easily fix. And this basically feels brand new. And it is so beautiful and the perfect colors for spring. So I'm testing it out on the bed here. I still need to wash it, but I just wanted to see how it would look. So I decided to throw it on there. And I absolutely love it. And in fact, I saw some in the store that were similar that I would have spent a lot of money on, and I held off, and I'm so glad that I did. I just love the roses and the pattern on here. It's so romantic, and I really feel like lace complements that so well. So I'd love to find some lacy things. I also found this small little basket that I plan on using for my dish towels because they're always sitting around and I need somewhere to put them when they're dirty and ready to bring downstairs. Here's another really nice thrift find that I really like. These are trivets, things that you would put hot pots on. And these are vintage. And I found this larger one separately from the smaller ones, but they all match. And I liked that they were in natural colors because I've seen these with brighter colors, but I liked the natural look. And I just think they're so unique and they remind me of a mandala. So I'll definitely be using these to put my hot pots on. And I just think they're beautiful. Here are a few of the cookbooks that I keep around for inspiration. I had a few flowers left and I've got this milk glass vase. So I decided that I was going to do another little arrangement. And I actually did a couple more arrangements until I finished up with all of the flowers. But this milk glass I found really inexpensively at the thrift store. And it just made a really beautiful arrangement. So I just went ahead and did the same thing as before and just filled this in until I was happy with it. And I did leave the flowers a little bit taller and really filled this out. I really love the way it turned out, and I think it's my favorite one. I feel like these flowers really added that touch of beauty of spring to our home. And I really hope that you'll give this a try because it was honestly really inexpensive. It didn't cost me very much at all. And because I already had the vessels to put them in, it just came together so quickly and so easily. And now I have these beautiful arrangements scattered throughout my home. And I'm going to be continuing to move these arrangements around until I have them how I like them because I wasn't completely satisfied with the way that the cabinet turned out. And I did end up taking some of them out and moving them around, but I feel like that's all part of the process of decorating. To me, spring is really a beacon of hope, coming out of the winter through dark times and moving into a time of sunlight and beauty. And I just look forward to it so much. And I really feel like yellow for me is a really happy color. And so I love to have it in my home. And I just think it's such a cheerful color. And so I'm just tidying up and folding some of my laundry and taking care of the home, waiting for my kids to get home and just enjoying my time. As homemakers, we get the opportunity to take care of the home however we want. We get to decorate however we want. And there's just so much freedom in that. And there's also so much love in taking care of the people that you care about the most. And I just love my job as a homemaker. I'm preparing some leftover chili for my husband and I for lunch. And it's just been such a beautiful day. I've so enjoyed this decorating, and I'm definitely going to be seeing the benefits of it in our home, adding this cheerful touch, and I'm sure it's going to be affecting everyone's moods and just bringing in a spirit of calm and peace into our home for spring. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'm hoping that it offers you a little bit of inspiration to get out, go thrifting, check out the dollar stores, and just have a little bit of fun with spring decorating. And don't take it too seriously. It doesn't have to cost a lot. And a lot of the items that I used today, I've already had and collected in times past. So I hope you all have fun, and I will see you again next week. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.